Hey, this is Clay Nelson from the Clay Nelson Life Balance Hour on KZSB AM 1290. Ernest Hemingway said, never mistake motion for action. Now think about that. It's like a lot of people really want to do stuff, but they're not committed and it doesn't get done. So think about that also. And it's really, when you really control an environment or a conversation, it shows how you can lack creativity. It also shows how you lack the ability to hear another person's opinion.
Clay, I mentioned earlier here an email that came in from Della, and it's very much associated, with what we've been talking about, particularly family-related responsibility. She says, if I don't take care of everything, nothing gets done. The laundry piles up, the kitchen cabinets are bare, and the house is a mess. While I hear what you're saying, I also can't live that way, i.e. in chaos. Do you have thoughts on getting my obviously spoiled family to pitch in?
Well, I'm going to read something from Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and it says, one man can be a crucial ingredient on a team, but one man cannot make a team. So now, it's time to sit down and have a little family meeting. Number one, I let your family get hungry. And if they got hungry enough, they'd learn that maybe they need to plan for some meals, right? So the truth is, it sounds to me like you're being a great mom, but you're doing it in a way where you're not teaching anybody anything. So I'd have a family meeting that says, we need to kind of get some help and we need to get clear that I'm not the person that makes your life work, you are. And we, not I, need to organize this house, put the grocery list together. And I got to tell you, with respect to going shopping in a grocery store, one of the greatest things Susan and I taught our kids was we let them go to the grocery store and shop for anything they wanted. But we made them eat what they bought. So when they came home with licorice and cookies, they ate licorice and cookies for so many days, they about got green on licorice and cookies. And they got real clear that maybe they shouldn't just buy licorice and cookies when they go to the grocery store. They also got real clear that you shouldn't go grocery shopping when you're hungry because you'll come back with every cake on the entire counter and nothing else, no lettuce, no tomatoes, nothing nutritious. So they learned that also. They also learned to make a list to replace what got consumed. So it's easier. You didn't go into a grocery store with just your mind. You went to a grocery store with a list that, that showed, hey, this is exactly what I need to prepare these meals because I want to be healthy. It shows people how to be responsible for their lives and how to have balance in what they eat and what it produces in their body. So again, I say that was a long answer, but again, I say you have to go from an I'm going to do it for you, I'm going to control it, don't worry, it's my job, to, hey, if I control it, I teach no one nothing. So you have to teach. All right, now.
And don't worry, Della, the underwear won't turn out pink.
Yeah.
It's fine. It'll turn out
or if it
well.
does, you put it on anyway, that color doesn't matter. Now, think about this. How do we get to a place where we actually understand the power of Control Master? I'm not even going to say the negative power, just the power of it. If you control everything, you have to be there all the time. That means eventually you will have no freedom anywhere. You will have no sense of well-being. It'll be burdensome. It's like you get to a place as a control monster, you go, well, why do I have to do this all the time? Why can't someone else do it? Because we haven't trained anybody, all right? There was a time in your life when you said, okay, this is where I'm going to get my self-worth. I'm going to control this. I'm going to make this happen. But once you've done it 54 times, the fun goes out of it. It becomes obligatory. It gets heavy. So we went through the diagnosing in the last segment of the only I can do it syndrome, and a few of the hot items were that you require everything to go through you, or that you believe that you're the only one who can do everything the right way, and so on. And then we went through and we decided, hey, there is no pill that you take to cure it. So what do you got to do? And the answer to that is you have to be able to build team. Now, you can have all the team in the world you want. You can have all the people waiting for you to tell them what to do, or you can build a team of people that have great intellects and great inquisitiveness and great lives. And you go, hey, okay, this is the goal. This is what we want to have done by this time. Now, how do you think we ought to get there? So you got to be the question. And when you be the question and you get your team to come up with the answer, not only do they get the resolve, but they also get ownership. And it's that ownership that turns people on. Look, you can give people pay raises until the cows come home, but the pay raise just works and gets them invigorated and gets their self-worth up for about 2 pay periods. But when you get them to a place where they get ownership and you acknowledge them for the result that they got, and they got the job done, that acknowledgement will last a lifetime. So building a team, the main job of a leader is to build a team that can do what he or she does anytime he or she is there or not there. Your job is to replace yourself. If you can replace yourself, you've got a team that can go on when you're not there. And as a leader of a team or the CEO of a company, all right, your job is to be the visionary, not to be there and just hover over everybody and make sure that the sharpening gets done, or to make sure that there's enough toilet paper in the bathroom, for God's sake. So where we are is you got to be clear about what team do I have to put together so I don't have to be here and answer all the questions, or what team do I have to have in order to have more time for my family and grow my company at the same time. What team do I need to be in order to have more fun in my life again? Now think about that. And I got to tell you, fun is not against the law. Do you know that you can be extremely successful and have a great company and still have fun? I can tell you this. I haven't met a control monster yet that thought that it was fun to be one. It's always heavy. It's always, the responsibility always gets to you after a while, and always gets to a place where I am just full on tired of this.
There's a great Theodore Roosevelt quote here that says, "The best executive is the one who has sense enough to pick up good men to do what he wants done, and self-restraint enough to keep from meddling with them while they do it."
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the worst thing you can do when you're building a team is micromanage it. All right. The next worst thing you can do is be critical of it in front of other members in it. So you have to make sure you understand that growing a team of people for a business or to obtain any goal is no different than raising your kids. You want to set the idea out there. You want to ask for help. You want to ask what they think. And then you want to listen. You want to set it up so that they speak amongst themselves, they take their notes, they work out resolves. And then if it's not the right resolve, don't make them wrong. Just say, hey, what's another way we can do this? So you keep being the question until they discover what needs to be done. And if they get stopped, plant a seed. Don't drop a tree.
Clay, I know there are specific tasks that require, very specific details to be taught. Mm-hmm. If, for example, you have a task that you're trying to teach to someone that can be done in a broader way, like this is how you do this. Mm-hmm. Should you let those people kind of develop in their own way?
Absolutely. If you have a task, if you have a task that needs to be done and you have a template that you've followed over your experience in your time, there's nothing wrong with showing them your template and then say to them, hey, if you know of a better way, or along the way of learning this template, you discover a newer, better way to do it, I want to know. Let's throw my template out and you use yours. The more you do that, the more there's a chance of creating ownership in a resolve of an issue.
That's really
or the
great.
Growth of a company, or the growth of a relationship. It's all about you planting the seed and letting it grow on its own. All right? So how do we do this? How do we get the cure of being the only I can do it syndrome, or being the control monster for everybody? Is you give up being the person with all the answers, and you give up being the person that, quite frankly, can do all the work. You got to ask for help. You have to learn to ask for help. You have to learn to build team by duplicating yourself in others. You have to be able to teach what you know. Now, teaching what you know is not easy. My dad was a great, great general contractor. There's no question. I worked for him for many years. But he could not teach me what he knew. That guy could, with an electric skill saw, could cut a circle on a piece of plywood with a skill saw. And I never could figure out how in the heck he did it, and he couldn't show me. Every time I tried it, that thing would kick back on me. So I finally figured out how to do it, but it's after I ruined a lot of saw blades. Now, teaching what you know. When we come back off this next break in the last segment, we're going to spend 3 minutes of the 6 minutes I got left talking about teaching what you know. That's really what it's all about. How do we give away what you know without it having to be something someone has to follow to the point where they have no fun in life? So you're listening to Clay Nelson Life Balance Hour. Come on back. We're going to complete the show with a lot of good stuff.